A few days ago, I made the mistake of thinking I could actually use AWS for something. My hypothesis was, how difficult can a thing be? And thing means AWS here. Someone made AWS. I can use it for sure, right? Well, turns out not so much. There was an application that I wanted to deploy, and it simply could not function on serverless environment, so I was left on my own. I was stranded. And Daddy Jeff scooped me up. He showed me hope. He showed me a way to live life without sins. Now here's the thing, if you don't know AWS, there's no straightforward way of I put GitHub link deployment where. I know you're thinking I'm a soy developer at this point. I just drink coffee and I don't know what I'm doing. And you're probably right, but hear me out. I quickly learned what all this EC2 business was about. It effectively means something Amazon's computer. So I went out of my way to create an EC2 instance. But wait. You're not supposed to use EC2 directly. You probably won't be able to configure a load balancer yourself. You probably don't need an EC2 instance. You should stop writing code altogether. Why don't you consider ending your existence? Was that a bit too intense? That's what using AWS feels like. But eventually I caved in to not using EC2s directly. So I was subjected to alternatives such as ECS, Elastic Container Service, which uses EC2 instances under the hood. Fargate, which means auto-scaling with EC2 instances. On a side note, wasn't Fargate the Shrek antagonist? What? And Beanstalk. And you guessed it, EC2 instances under the hood. Huh? I was very perplexed at this point and very confused, but we march on. I also saw there's something called S3 where you can upload your files, and the first time I uploaded something on S3 using my application, I felt as if there was hope. I saw Bezos' face smiling, but alas, it was mirage. For the entirety of Twitter told me that I did not use pre-signed URLs and I was supposed to use pre-signed URLs, and oh god, I was supposed to also upload using CLI. But it works. You 0, me 1. I moved on to my next task, which was to use something called Docker to Dockerize my Next.js app into a Docker container that can run on the cloud. That's a lot of words. And while surfing on the internet about it, I saw Kubernetes pop up again and again. And listen, do we really need Kubernetes? Like, if you use it and it does something for you, that's incredible. I'm so happy for you. But I'm not even sure what it means. Is it a container? Is it a planet? What's a cluster? For a long time, I thought how KYS means kill yourself, K8S meant kill itself. Anyway, I don't know what Kubernetes is. It's a cool sounding word for sure. At this point, I was trying to do things that were so above my head that I had to do what I did not want to do. I called my friend, an AWS employee, to help me set things up. For 2 hours, we went through Elastic Container Registry, building images, deploying images, publishing those images, creating tasks, contemplating if using AWS would make us bald, to eventually landing into a public IP that did not work. And I want to reiterate what just happened. Someone who worked at AWS, internally used AWS, who made AWS, did not know how to use it. Well, if that does not define AWS to you, I don't know what will. I've done my job here. In the end, I did more tinkering with it and I was able to accomplish what I wanted to do from the start. Host an index.html on AWS.